When I was 19, I maxed out my very first credit card. The thing is, no one had ever sat me down and taught me anything about credit. I remember it like it was yesterday. I had a $500 credit limit, but in my mind, all I saw was easy access to cash with the push of a few buttons using a PIN number. In my 10 years of formal public education and 2 years of private school, I don't recall ever having a class that taught me about this wonderful world of credit and how to navigate it as an adult. Come to think of it, growing up, I'd never had a single conversation about credit with either of my parents. So that left me unprepared and figuring life out on my own. I've experienced good credit, bad credit, and excellent credit throughout my journey. And as I got older, I found myself always asking the same questions. Why isn't this stuff taught in school? Why didn't anyone teach me about credit? I knew so little about this world. Just a year out of high school, I'm graduating from Barber College with a baby girl on the way who's now turning 30 years young this month, March 13th. I can vividly remember telling her mom, I'm gonna buy us a starter home. Well, it was actually a brand new 1994 Redmond 14 by 80, 2-bedroom, 2 full bath mobile home with a garden tub and a shower in the master suite. These were pretty popular and affordable back in the 90s in the South. I remember going down to that lot every week and putting a couple $100 or more of my barbershop earnings in my salesman's hands until I reached my down payment total of $1,385. I never forgot that down payment amount because I had to cut a lot of hair to seal that deal. That was officially the beginning of my credit journey. I remember one of my fellow barber buddies, Charles, who was also my neighbor just a few mobile homes down. He had just purchased a brand new dark green Dodge Neon with a little stripe on the side. He pulled up and said, "Vic, jump in this hype voice. This thing was cool, fast, and had that new car smell. He went from 0 to 60 in seconds. After that ride, I wanted one ASAP. The next day, I ran down to the Dodge dealership and test drove a brand new 1994 red Dodge Neon with a sunroof. I loved it. I told the salesman I was going to check with my credit union to see if they would finance it for me. Apparently, the application I filled out at the dealership asked for my social security number, and they ran it. I was so young and clueless. As I'm walking around the car visualizing myself in this thing, the salesman comes out with the keys to the Neon and says, "You have some great credit. I can get you financed through Dodge with only $500 down. But if you want to drive the car to your credit union to see what they can do, take the car with you." Long story short, I never made it to the credit union. I had purchased my first brand new car directly through Chrysler Dodge Credit. I want to take a second to talk about Smart Credit. It's an all-in-one credit tool that I highly recommend you guys take a look at if you're serious about building your credit score. No longer do you have to continue to be in the dark, not knowing how to work on your scores, track your scores, and most importantly, maximize those scores by knowing the best time to make those payments. Let me show you how it works. Their Score Builder feature deals with payment history, which is 35% of your credit score. Here, they will mail letters directly to your creditors and financial institutions to potentially get them removed, requesting goodwill corrections, report errors, and more. No more mailing letters or waiting on long hold times. It's all done for you. Also, their Score Boost helps you with 30% of your credit grade, which is credit utilization. It shows exactly how much you need to pay off and by which date to gain the most points the fastest. Listen, having this type of information at your fingertips keeps the ball in your court. They also help you keep your name from being sold to third-party companies by using Smart Credit's Privacy Master feature. Other companies that have that as their only service are charging from $15 to $28 just for that, and it's included as part of your Smart Credit membership. And because you're watching this video today, you can get access to Smart Credit and take it for a test drive for 7 days for just $1 using my link below in the video description and pinned in my comment section. Hands down, one of the most incredible tools that you can use to get your best credit scores. So I'm 19 years old with a brand new mobile home, a brand new car, a new baby girl, fresh out of barber college and making what I thought was plenty of money. There wasn't much you could tell me at that point. I thought I had arrived. With all of this going on, I still couldn't tell you what my credit score was to save my life. Based on what I was told at the dealership, I had great credit. I wasn't aware of any credit monitoring services at the time. Just a year later, I started having issues with the braking system in my Neon. The new car smell was gone, and every time that I hit bumps before stopping, I would get this pulsating feeling from my brake pedal. It was as if the car didn't want to stop. I was no longer happy with my car. I was paying roughly about $350 per month back then. I woke up one day and got the bright idea to take it back to the Chrysler corporate office and do what they call a voluntary repossession. The lady that I spoke to in their corporate office told me that I would be destroying my great credit if I decided to give the vehicle back. She asked me was I sure quite a few times. I told her yes, shrugged my shoulders, and handed her the keys. A month later, I turned 20 and had a nice fat voluntary repossession sitting on my credit report. I had officially joined the ranks of Team Bad Credit. I was young with big dreams, making money and moving off impulse. And to be honest, credit wasn't on my list of priorities. I could only see what was in front of me and what was going into my pockets every day. Never really took the time to think about how it could affect me in my future. Besides, it wasn't that difficult to get another car back then. But looking back at those times, financial literacy wasn't something that was heavily talked about or taught. No social media, no internet. Although I did catch a late night infomercial about real estate or running ads that would spark my entrepreneur spirit. Imagine knowing that you'd have to pay for most things with cash if you had some, because your credit scores would speak for your worthiness out in the business world. Had I known then what I know now, I would have taken my credit much more seriously in my younger years. Life is about experiences, growth, lessons that we can learn from and pass along to others. I think we all have that first credit card story. Discipline plays a major role in building credit and keeping it excellent. Most of us had to learn this the hard way. I don't know about you guys, but I sure did. We now have more tools at our fingertips than ever before in history. For some of us, it's a good thing, and for others, it's information overkill. If you never listen to another word I tell you, my friends, excellent credit can open up doors that cash cannot. Credit is king. I'll see you on the other side of freedom, my friends.